In this video, we're going to look at a common English pattern. What's a pattern? Well, every single language has phrases and sentence constructions that the native speakers use again and again and again. So patterns are these words or phrases that come together that are used again and again by native speakers. So let's look at the pattern we're going to focus on today. So the pattern is, you have the most. Now, of course, we can change the verb have when we say she has the most or he has the most, for example. But the basic pattern is someone has the most something. So what does this mean? Let's have a look at the meaning of this pattern. So if I say, wow, John, you have the most beautiful house. What do I actually mean? Well, it means your house is really beautiful. It's one of the most beautiful houses I've ever seen. So when we use this structure, you have the most, for example, you have the most beautiful house. Do we really mean that it's number one? It's the most beautiful in the world? No, we don't. What we're trying to say with this pattern is that it's very beautiful. Okay, so when we say you have the most beautiful house, it really means your house is very, very beautiful. It's nice. It's not the most beautiful in the world, really. Of course, there must be another house which is more beautiful, but this house is very beautiful. Okay, so it's not literal. It's not really the most. It just means very. We're trying to emphasize our point. Now, to make the meaning clearer for you, let's look at a few examples in use. So this first one. Hi, I think I recognize you. We met at a party last year. Your name's Jane, right? Yes, you're right. You have the most incredible memory. So Jane was very impressed with the boy's memory. He was able to remember her name after a year. So she's trying to emphasize that your memory is very good. It's obviously not the best in the world, but it's very good. It's impressive. So she said, you have the most incredible memory. So we say this when we're quite surprised as well. So we want to emphasize this surprise. Let's look at the next example. How was your trip to Spain? Did you enjoy it? We had the most wonderful time. The food, the people, the culture, everything was great. So this person had a fantastic time in Spain. She said, we had the most wonderful time. Now, is this literal? Is she really saying it was the most wonderful time in my life? Maybe it really was the most wonderful time in her life. But very often we use this to say it was just fantastic. It was very wonderful, but it wasn't really the most wonderful time in my life. For example, I can say, I went to a fantastic restaurant yesterday. The food was great. The atmosphere was lovely. The staff was so kind and generous. We had the most wonderful time. Now, was it really the most wonderful time in my life? Probably not. But I'm just trying to emphasize that it was really special. It really was wonderful. Let's look at another example. Peter has the most beautiful eyes. do you have a crush on him? So these two ladies are talking about a man called Peter. The first one says, Peter has the most beautiful eyes. The second one says, do you have a crush on him? Now, a crush, when we say, do you have a crush on someone? It means you like them. You think they're very, very attractive. Okay? It doesn't mean you love them as such. It's not a very deep feeling. It just means you have nice feelings towards them. You think they're attractive and maybe your heart beats faster when you see them. This is called a crush. So we say, I have a crush on her. So the lady said, Peter has the most beautiful eyes. What she's trying to say is, his eyes are really, really beautiful. Maybe in her life, she has seen other eyes which are even more beautiful than Peter's. But she's just trying to say, Peter's eyes are really beautiful. So this is a very common pattern. Try to use it in your spoken English. Use it in the comments section below if you want to practice. I will try and correct your sentences. Again, if you have any questions, just leave them below.